Okay, so we'll start off doing question number one. So, how many different real roots does the polynomial equation have? This 11th degree polynomial, they're asking how many real roots does it have. They're not asking for all the roots. They're just saying how many real roots. I'm going to the whiteboard to do it, and I'll write it down for you. And this is going to be x to the 11. Make sure I have a pen out first off. X to the 11. Then it says x10. Then it says x9. And I realize there's a dot, dot, dot there, but that means, x8, x7, x6, x5, x4. Hate to write them all down, but I am going to write them down. 3, 2, 1, and then none, which means there's a 1 there. All right, so one thing I would recommend to do is, sort of realize that there is a root to the problem, and I think it's kind of an obvious root to the problem. I'm going to say the root to the problem is where x equals minus 1. Let me just go through that with you. And, I'm going to just go one term at a time like this and just evaluate it. What are these terms equal to at minus 1? All right, so what do you get? You get, minus 1. That's the first one. Next one's going to be plus 1. The next one's going to be minus 1. The next one's going to be plus 1. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have did that there. Just 1. Let's see, then minus 1. Then plus 1. Get dizzy doing this, don't you? Minus 1, plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, plus minus 1, and then plus 1 in the end. All right, I'm going to say it's equals it's a root of the problem. Let me just go through it kind of quickly. 0, 0, 0, 0. I get a 0 there and a 0 there. All right? So I know there's a root to the problem. I know there's at least one real root to the problem. All right, so what I want to do over here is just talk about what the other roots might be. And the way you were taught this in pre-calculus, you were taught to divide. So let me do this over here, x plus 1. Now you may wonder why I'm dividing by x plus 1, because I'm saying it's a factor of the problem. So I'm saying that this problem over here, let me erase this over here now. I just erased the 11 too, sorry about that. I'm saying this problem has a factor of x plus 1, and how do I know that? I just showed there's a root of minus 1. What I don't know is I don't know what goes over here, and that's what we're trying to figure out. Let's put this down, x11 plus x10 plus x9. I'm not going to put everything down. It's going to go yada, yada, yada. I'm going to go all the way down to 1. And if you did this thing, I hope you realize that I'm not going to do every single thing, but I'm going to see there's a pattern to it. And I'm going to say, if you did this thing, I'm going to say x10. What would you get? x11 plus x10. And then you subtract. And what would you get then? Well, you get x9 plus x8. Then what do? Well, you're going to multiply. Let's see, I guess by x9, right? What do you get there? x9. I'm sorry, x8. Sorry about that. You're going to get x9 plus x8. And again, you're going to subtract. When you get x6, I'm sorry, I'm misspeaking again. It's x7 plus x6. I think you get the idea. I keep doing this. And then you get x, well, it's going to be 6, right? And then you get x4, right? And then you eventually peter out the end. And let me just kind of, I guess I should write some things down then, right? So x7, x6, then what do you get? You get x5, x4, and then you do it again. Let's see, you get, the next after that, you get x5, x4. I'm at that level now then. What do you get? You get x3 plus x2. Well, that would be plus x2, and that would give you x3 plus x2. You do the subtraction. What you left off with? Well, you left off with x plus 1 now. And what do you get there? You get plus 1. So I'm going to say I know the factorization, at least partially, and I'm going to erase this over here. I'll write that down for you. That's x10 plus x8 plus x6 plus x4 plus x2 plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to start to erase the distractions in the problem now. Me checking the rational root theorem and long division. Get rid of all the stuff over here. And this is kind of the most pressing thing I want to come up with. Now, a lot of students say, oh, I knew that to begin with. Why'd you go through that work over there? Well, just to show you that you could go through the work. If you knew that, though, you'd write that down. That's a factorization of the problem. So what do I know about this over here? Well, I know I got one real root. I could keep saying it until I'm, dead, but one real root. By the way, there's 10 more. Or I'm not saying they're real, by the way, but what do I know about this over here? Any real number over here, what's going to produce, any real number, it's certainly not 0, by the way, but any real number would produce a positive plus a positive plus a positive plus a positive. By the way, 0 wouldn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. This thing is definitely greater than 0. I'm never going to get a 0 using a positive number. So there's only one real root. Now, of course, there's going to be more roots over here. They're going to be complex. Thank you.